Hey guys, welcome into today's video. Today we are discussing USC's very polarizing defensive coordinator, Alex Grinch. A portion of the USC fan base has completely turned on Grinch and called for his firing. I don't know the exact portion of the fan base that has turned on him, but the ones who have are very loud about it. I find it very interesting how quickly USC fans have adjusted their expectations of this team and their overall outlook on the roster. If you listen to a lot of USC fans talk, you would think that we just finished the season 7-5 or 6-6 or something. So today I want to dive into the Alex Grinch discussion and try to explain how I see things. I want you guys to join the discussion as well. In the comments, let me know if you're a Grinch supporter, if you want him gone, or if you're in between right now. But before we dive into the video, guys, if you are enjoying the videos, please like and subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subs, which is just really awesome. Thank you all so much for the support. Alright guys, now that that's taken care of, let's dive into it. Okay, so Alex Grinch. Before we talk about him specifically, let's talk about what he inherited here at SC. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the 2021 defense was honestly the worst Trojan defense I've seen in my lifetime. It was awful. And I think back to some of those conversations we were having in 2021. We were all saying that there's an absolute lack of talent on that side of the ball. We were terrible at tackling, terrible in coverage, slow, you get the point. So now fast forward to 2022. Lincoln gets the job, he brings Grinch over, they started the whole roster turnover, and there are only so many spots available on a roster, guys. When you're going about turning over a roster in the transfer portal era, specifically when both sides of the ball are completely depleted and barren, there are two ways to go about doing things. You split it equally in terms of player acquisition, get a little better on offense and defense, or go hard on one side in year one, make that unit, in this case the offense, one of the best offenses in the entire country, and then in year two attack the defense in the portal and really rebalance this team. And that's obviously the direction they chose to go in, and I think 100% that's the correct direction. But where did that leave us this year in regards to the defensive talent? They had to use what spots they had left to patch up some holes on defense and take a few chances on guys with upside like Jacoby Covington. We saw an insane offensive turnaround, in part because Lincoln Riley is one of the most brilliant offensive minds in the sport, and Grinch isn't that. But Grinch and the defense were not afforded the same luxuries that the offense was. I mean, look at what he's working with here, guys. I don't want to name specific guys, but the defense is not even in the same stratosphere of talent as the offense. Now, am I 100% certain that Grinch is the best guy for the job? No, of course not. But I do think we need to be patient. Now, an interesting thing I noticed is that earlier in the year when the USC defense was forcing all the turnovers, the national people were saying how they were fluky and lucky, and since we were the ones watching every game, we would go out and say, no, they're not fluky at all. This is a part of his scheme, this is what Alex Grinch does. But now, since a lot of people have turned on him, those same people who were claiming that no, they're not fluky, are now saying that they were all fluky and all luck. Well, newsflash guys, if you do something literally every week of the year, it's not fluky. That's literally Alex Grinch's philosophy. It's one of the two keys to his defense, the other being tackles for loss, and the USC defense excelled in both of those areas in 2022. With the personnel he had to work with, I'd be willing to say that the turnaround in those two areas alone are actually very, very impressive. If we bring in a bunch of studs this offseason and don't see a bunch of improvement on the defensive side of the ball, if Utah pushes us around again, if Oregon scores 45 on us, I'll be more than willing to listen to the Fire Grinch conversation. Another point. Look at guys like Thule, Mekhi Blackman, and Eric Gentry. He maximized their talent, they all had career years under Grinch. Wait until he has a Tackett Curtis, a healthy Zion Branch. There could be playmakers all over the field next season. I think this defense has a real chance of taking a huge step next year. Another point I hear people make is that this defense can't tackle. And guys, you can't pick and choose when you want to criticize the defense's tackling. This was one of the better tackling defenses in the conference before the first Utah game. Gentry obviously got hurt in that game, and Shane Lee had his hand in a cast, and the tackling went off a cliff against Arizona and Cal, but rebounded against Colorado, UCLA, and Notre Dame. And obviously the Pac-12 title game against Utah was a tackling nightmare, very embarrassing. But to say that this defense can't tackle or they're bad tacklers, I mean that statement's just false. Now if you want to say they're extremely inconsistent, I'll be right there with you on top of the mountaintop screaming it. I mean, this is the most inconsistent tackling defense I've seen in a long time. But if you look at the defenses under Clay Helton, I mean those defenses were just bad at tackling. They couldn't tackle. That's not the case with this squad. Bottom line for me, I'm not ready to bail on Grinch. I like his personality, I like his values. I'm very curious to see what he can do with another year and another round of players that he will choose to be here. Now I know some of you will disagree with that wholeheartedly, so let's talk about it. Let me know how you feel in the comment section and we can have more discussion about this. Now in some other news, the Pac-12 awards have been announced, and as expected, multiple Trojans received all-conference honors. Caleb Williams was named the Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year, shocker, and Tuli Tuipulotu was named Defensive Player of the Year, again, shocker. Now on the all-conference teams, Caleb Williams, Andrew Voorhees, Jordan Addison, Tuli, and Mekhi Blackman were all named first team Pac-12. Travis Dye, Brett Nealon, and Kalen Bullock were all named to the second team, and Justin Diedich, Jonah Monheim, Shane Lee, Max Williams, and Taj Washington were all honorable mentions. So huge congratulations to all of those guys. Conference honors are no joke, they're a very big deal. The only gripe I have with these is I don't know how Brett Nealon isn't first team, but other than that, it looks good to me. Alright guys, that'll do it for me today. Again, I want to hear from you down in the comments. Let me know how you feel about Grinch and the USC defense as a whole. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out a ton. It means the world. And as always, take care and fight on.